Welcome back to Sports for Real. I am Coach Hall, and today is the day that Ohio State and Michigan finally get it on. Now, according to them, they don't talk about each other until it's time to actually play. But, in reality, that's not quite true. But what's coming out from last year is Ohio State talking about they were sick. They got this smug attitude like they just know they're superior to Michigan, and they're going to whip Michigan today. And they're going to prove everybody that last year they really was sick. And that's the only reason why they lost the game. Well, I beg to differ. I think Michigan legitimately whipped Ohio State. Not only did they whip Ohio State, all the times that they were losing, they never once made any excuse about why they lost those games. And now to have Ohio State come out talking about that they were sick, and that's pretty much the reason why they lost. And that's insulting to Michigan. Now, I'm not a Michigan person, but that's insulting to that group. Now, another thing about Ohio State, when we find out, was 2 years ago when they lost to Clemson, and they had everything up around with the scoreboard of the game, and everything was focused on Clemson. And when they finally played Clemson again, and they were going to beat them. Well, they did that, but they forgot about the other teams they were supposed to play. But I bring that up to say that they had all those things about Michigan, even though they don't talk about Michigan. That's a lie. And the same thing with Michigan. They talk about them too. Talk about Ohio State. These guys can't get enough of each other. So now we're going to get it on today at 12 o'clock to see who is the best team. Now, I predicted a few days ago that the winner of this game is going to, of course, make it to the championship playoffs. And the other one's probably just going to end up in the Rose Bowl somewhere. But only chance, if this is a close game and USC or TCU loses, then there's a chance that both of these teams will end up in the playoffs. Maybe the first time we had another conference other than the SEC with two teams. Like I say, I expect Georgia to whip LSU. I expect USC to get by Notre Dame, and the winner, I believe, is going to be Oregon next week, Oregon or Washington. And I think TCU is going to beat Iowa State today, and they're going to get by Kansas State again. So that's going to be your four playoff teams. The winner of this game, Georgia, of course, USC, and TCU. If that doesn't happen, one of those two teams, USC or TCU, falters, then the loser of today's game between Michigan and Ohio State could possibly back in, maybe even Clemson. We'll see. Long way to go. But I lost a little respect for Ohio State when they started talking about they were sick. You should just accept that you got beaten. Michigan is far better than what you think they are. And if you got old guys like me, I remember a time when Ohio State couldn't beat Michigan. So now all of a sudden you get things going your way. You're superior. Give me a break, man. But anyway, I'm taking Michigan to knock off Ohio State again this year. Coach Hall.